We're here in Ionad Cultúrtha, and tonight is really the culmination of Dylan Howe's musician in residence journey, presented by Music Network in partnership with Ionad Cultúrtha. This musician in residence opportunity is specifically for a professional musician with autism. So this is the second time that Music Network has presented a residency of this kind. Last year was the first of its kind in Ireland, which we presented in Listowel in partnership with St. John's Theatre and Arts Centre. And at the time, Listowel was working towards becoming an autism-friendly town. And so it seemed like a really appropriate fit to design a residency for a professional musician with autism that would also engage with the wider community.
I suppose for me, like, to have this space, the physical space of the Ionad Cultúrtha, and even just the mental space that you're going in, your sole purpose in that room that day is to write music and to create something that hadn't existed before. For me, that's like, I haven't had that space. I haven't given myself that space in a long time, actually. For me, what I got out of this was, I suppose, that space, and also to get back in touch with Gaelige and Irish. It was lovely coming here. The goal I had set out was to write everything as Gaelige, so we achieved that, myself and Olive.
We are lucky that we have such a good relationship with Music Network, and I suppose we took it a step further, and myself and Deirdre Moynihan spoke quite a bit about collaborations of having artists in residence here. And then Dylan came along. I suppose he ticked the box in so many ways because he had Irish, which is really important. We are in the Gaelige, and he had appreciation for the language. He's been terrific. He's been here and he's been doing some outreach work with local children that would be perhaps on the spectrum, and I think that's really important, that people can think, yeah, you can do anything. It's just a label in one way, and it's how you, I suppose, have access to spaces like these to be able to put your artistic creativity to use, and to have that support, I think, is really important. So we're delighted.
I was working with Jim Murray with them. He was facilitating them basically, which was a great help for me. But yeah, they were brilliant. Like the kids, especially, I think, really resonated with some of the songs we played. We played some trad tunes for them. We played some Fionn Regan for them, which they loved. I think some of them will probably get a bit further into music after this, hopefully. Because that's how I got into music myself, just by seeing people do it when I was younger. So. I think it's important if you're feeling anyway inspired, or if you're feeling not inspired, it's important, I think, to kind of uproot yourself and get into a new space. For me, that kind of gives new creativity. Like any of the songs we'd written here, I wouldn't have wrote back home at all. So it's interesting how your environment and people changes all that.